doing? Did y'all have a hard time finding it like me? I was going around in circles and stuff, man. Appreciate you finding this spot for us last minute. I was in town shooting some video and stuff for March, and I was like, yo, let's just do a pop-up real quick, so I'm glad y'all made it. Have y'all ever been to like a quick pop-up before? No. Yo, we just literally talk about real estate for 2 hours. Like we just hang out. So I gotta leave right at 8:30 because I got dinner with somebody, but let's just talk real estate. Yes, sir. Can I get to you?
You said something about driving for dollars. Like that's like one of the main things that you do.
Yeah.
Or at least like one of the entrants. Can you like kind of describe a little bit more about that?
Like what driving for dollars is?
Yeah.
Basically, driving for dollars, I don't know who came up with the term, I didn't, but it's basically you're driving around a neighborhood and you're looking for like some of the ugliest houses in some of the better neighborhoods, right? You can tell it's visibly abandoned, like you can tell nobody's living there, no curtains, no blinds, grass is tall, bushes are tall, all those type of things. That's like a sign of distress, because we look for distress and we solve problems. So as you're driving for these properties, you're gonna write down the addresses. And when you write down the addresses, you just want to go to the tax website. I'm not sure what it is here in this market. The tax assessor website. Input the address, and then find out who owns the property. Now you have a name and an address of the person who owns it, and then you want to try your best. Skip Genie, People Finder, all these free websites. Try to find out who the person is, and then call them, and then simply ask them, "Hey, are you thinking about selling your home? What are you doing? I was in the neighborhood. I noticed it was." You know, it looked empty. What are you doing with it? That's where the conversation starts. Right here, and I get to you. Yes.
In one of your YouTube videos, you mentioned you have 5 full-time VAs. Can you tell us what do each individual VA does?
So everything. Like I don't even have to be in my business at all at this point. So they run my business, and I have 4 that work in the office. So between those people, they run everything. So everything from list pulling, to sorting, to calling, to every aspect of my business. But if you're looking to hire a VA, first of all, I want to make sure you actually need a VA, right? I think that's another misconception that a lot of people out here spreading, that you need to go get a VA right away. It's not true. Like the reason why I got a VA, because I got to that point where I was at that $40,000, $50,000 a month consistently, and I was okay, maybe I need somebody to start pulling the list at night. So when I wake up in the morning, I can dial 200 people myself versus waking up in the morning, pull my list and doing that. So those are the things. And then I started firing myself from positions, right? One was the next thing I fired myself from was answering the inbound calls. I no longer wanted to do that because you do that all day long if you're putting out marketing. And then the next thing I fired myself was cold calling. The next thing I fired myself was going on appointments. And it just kept going and going and going until I work on my business, not in it. Likewise.
Yeah, so I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So what advantage do I have rather than people who is not real estate agent?
So you're in this market?
Yeah.
So he's a real estate agent in this market who's asking what advantages does he have that other people don't. One is you have MLS access, which is real-time true data of most of the stuff that is sold via the MLS.
All right.
That's about it. Yeah. I mean, the true. That's about it, right?
And if they won't take a discount on a house, you can always list it.
And then, that's another advantage. If you go into a house and you've exhausted every option for the seller, and it's a retail deal, then you can list it. You can list it. But usually, if they're called, that happens, but it's kind of rare when it does happen. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to give everyone hope that driving for dollars does work. I've actually found a fourplex, actually 2 with Frere, of course, 2 fourplexes and a flip in Arlington, in Kennedale area. So I live in one of the units right now. The other 3 units are being rented out. The property manager is working out great. But I want to get a tip from you on wholesaling, finding the buyers on wholesaling into it. What is some tips
on finding buyers?
For wholesaling side.
One thing. I think the battery's dying. One thing that I do. It goes back to data again. So all real estate data is collected at the county level. That's where it starts and dies. So you can do several things. I did a video on how to use ListSource to find the buyer's list of basically who's purchased property for cash in the last 12 months, 6 months, whatever, right? And then having a realtor, they can run a list of closed transactions that's all been all cash in the last 6, 8, whatever your parameters are. And those people are actually cash buyers. And then one thing I always tell people to do is if you find a property, look to the left, to the right, the back, to the front, and see if anybody's bought those. You'd be surprised because if I own rentals on the street, I want more rentals on that street. It's just natural.
What's the best piece of advice Gary Vee gave you when you went to go see him?
He said, what was the best piece of advice Gary Vee gave me when I went to meet him? Keep doing what I'm doing. Like this, like giving is so not, like, especially in this field, man, you should see some of the gurus that hate me.
Give away so much.
Oh man, I'm talking like this right here. A lot of people hit me up when they was like, oh, how much does it cost to come to your pop-up? Like, nothing. I don't want you $100. I'm not going around in hotels doing $100 meetups. It's not where I make my money from. Right, so like, yeah, I mean, listen, the reality is I can shut down my wholesaling business right now, build a training course, and make $3 to $5 million a year. Like right now. But then I would become what I said I wasn't gonna be, the people I despise. I like giving away information. I like seeing people change their lives. Now, one day will I do something like a mastermind when you are already making X amount of dollars and you want to join the mastermind to scale it up even more? Sure, one day I will. Because everybody likes money. So I will monetize one day, but I'm not gonna monetize off of somebody that just started. Like, I'd rather you learn free information from me, start making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and then come join my mastermind for X amount of dollars. Or come to my event when you can afford it. Like, I don't need you $300. Yes, sir.
Any good books you're reading right now?
Yeah. I'm reading a book on leadership to be a better leader for my employees. Let me see what else I'm reading. I have Audible. You guys know I'm dyslexic, so I don't read. Dare to be a Leader. I just finished Raising Private Capital by Matt Fairclough. And then I read before that Contagious, Why Things Catch On. So I listen to it when I'm traveling a lot. So I listen to stuff like that. But how to become a better leader, because my team is growing and I want to have better retention, stuff like that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was listening to some of your older podcasts.
Did I say something wrong?
Talked about, earlier podcasts. And you talked about phone calls. Would you ever get back into doing that for the people that are not at the mastermind level?
Would I personally do phone calls? Oh, like one-on-one phone calls? I barely get to see my mother. So I don't even have the time to like do the phone calls. When I wish I could, and that's why I do stuff like this, because it's like I get to reach, 60, 70 people without having to do the one-on-one phone calls. Yeah. And that's why I said, oh, also let me do an event. Because we had 430 people at the last event. I felt like that was, better.
Is it gonna be more spicy there?
Is it gonna be more what?
Like more people, like more seats and things?
Yeah, there's 1,200 seats. Yeah.
If you were working with a mentor, you guys are doing deals, you're trying to learn from him, what would be one of the most important things that you try to emphasize on? I'm working with Victor Moss right now, and that's been really helpful. So what would you maximize in order to really grow from that opportunity?
I would just learn the best that he has to offer. And then you're gonna grow your own style outside of that. You know what I mean? Like, so one thing I know about Victor, he deep dives on like 1 or 2 lead sources. That's his entire business. So that's a good thing to learn from. And then you're gonna develop your own style and grow. Just take full advantage of being in that relationship with him. Yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna do a selfie picture with you guys, and then I'm gonna get out of here very shortly after that. I want to do a video one.
Can we get a video? Can we get a picture?
I'm gonna do like a video thing. This is good. So like on the count of 3. On the count of 3, we're gonna do like a video. And y'all just gonna say scream or say Dallas or something. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dallas, what's up? So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you guys being here.
How about a quick kick?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it now. Come on. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming. When I say you're one deal away, what I mean by that is that one deal will change your life forever. It will change your life forever. So definitely go out and do what you gotta do.